Okay, so we're gonna try this. This is my first time doing something like this, so I apologize if this doesn't turn out perfectly. But either way, welcome. This is a strongest Naruto tier list maker, and I was watching the Seth the Programmer and Swagkage video on Itachi versus Naruto that came out as of today of when I'm recording this, and it made me want to do this. So we're gonna I might change it to just simple L to like A, S, all that stuff. But for now, we're going to try with the names. But we're going to start off with the Team 7 originally. Naruto and Sasuke obviously are very high tier. I've always thought that there's very clear times when Sasuke was better than Naruto, and it feels pretty clear to me when Sasuke was worse than Naruto. And I like Sasuke. I have a Uchiha cosplay jacket that I wear just as a normal jacket. But by the end of the series, Naruto fought through the entire war arc after splitting all of his chakra, after getting KCM1, then fought the Kaguya battle mostly by himself, and then fought Sasuke, who was bloodlusted while he was just trying to bring him back as a friend. And he beats him. Naruto, by the end of at least Shippuden, I'm not doing Boruto. I will do a few Boruto characters, but only because I think the Yasutsuki are kind of interesting. Either way, that's all I'm doing. I'm not really. I'm talking end of Shippuden. I think that Naruto is clearly ahead of Sasuke. I think she scales. I think Sakura scales above Tsunade. Now, she may move. I'd like to state that she could definitely move. But when she's got all of her chakra released, she's using the full capabilities of everything Tsunade taught her. Tsunade fought Madara, Edo Tensei Madara, in my opinion, the most effectively. I think it took the Raikage, the power of the light boulder jutsu, I think, is what made him actually successful in that. Because he was clearly the fastest character there besides Madara. And it was pretty clear the entire time. But I think that she's tanking fucking swords to the stomach and shit. Like, yeah, I think that Tsunade performed the best of the Kage. We'll get to her in just a second. And I think that Sakura, in her battle against the Ten Tails, shows that she's above that. Because in my opinion, Madara is above Biju level. He just scoffs at the idea of Biju in general. And the Ten Tails is above that. And I think that's where his power kind of capped out. He would, like, I don't think he could have beaten the Ten Tails alone necessarily. And not that I think Sakura can. I'd like to make that clear. But she at least was comparable to Naruto and Sasuke in that fight. So I'm going to put her at Hokage. Alright. Kakashi. I'm going to use War Arc Kakashi. And this is where it starts getting tough. I think that it's very clear by the end of the series that these two have surpassed him. The question is whether Sakura has. These two have surpassed him for a while, right? And I just don't know if I think Sakura did. Do I think that Sakura had surpassed Kakashi by the end of Shippuden? I'm going to be very, very, very honest. Sakura is my least favorite character in the show, except maybe, like, only a few other characters. 10-10 is worse. But I'm going to put Kakashi above Sakura for his stamina shown in the war arc. So I will admit bias. I like Kakashi much better. One of my favorite characters in the show. And I don't like Sakura. However, I do at least have an argument that Kakashi scales above Sakura for the simple fact of how long each had been fighting in that war and fighting against high-level opponents for that time, too. I don't think that Sakura had been fighting against anyone of nearly the same caliber as an Obito, whether that's Renegon Obito or Ten Tails Jinchuriki Obito or Madara or whatever. This is also just as an FYI, not including. I have one for his double Mangekyo Sharingan amp at the end of the series. I have it somewhere in here. Yeah, right here, right here. It's right before Kaguya. So we'll talk about that at some point. This is just end of war arc because that's after that. Then he gets the weird buff from Obito. So we're just talking about this right now. This is where I would put Kakashi at the end of the war arc. Guy. This is going to be Guy up until 8th Gate. 8th Gate will get its own little thing. I have it right around the Jinchuriki Madara section. So this is 7th Gate. And we don't see a ton of 7 Gate specifically, but what we do is fairly impressive. He just stomps... Fishman. What the hell is the Fishman's name? I don't know. I think that he's in the same ballpark as these two, but I'm not 100% on that. A lot of this is subject to change as I go through. Neji, one of the best Part 1 characters, and I think he only stays here. I think that basically he goes from being Jonin to Elite Jonin in between the jump, when I would argue that Sasuke and Naruto went from Jonin to God tier level Shinobi by the end of the series versus what he's jumped 1 tier, which is just sad for the dude, man. It was some of the worst use of that character throughout. All right. One of my favorite Akatsuki members, Deidara. There's reasons for where he's going to go, but I think he's mid Kage. I think that when he is relevant to the show, he's better than anyone in this tier above him. But I think by the end of the show, because he dies and they get to basically train for free, all 3 of these characters surpass him eventually. But I think he's mid Kage. He takes out Gaara by himself. Now we're going to do the Sannin. I've always thought that Orochimaru was the most powerful one of them. Now, where they go in this is interesting. Are they high Kage? Well, let's see. Okay. Maybe these 2 are here, and then it goes like that. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not putting Sakura above Orochimaru. I don't think. Well, I did say that she was better than her master, didn't I? This is gonna be weird. She's gonna be above all the Sannin. I'm gonna put. This is just my opinion, but over the years, I was always Jiraiya was my favorite of the Sannin, and it felt very. In my head I was always biased to where I saw Naruto versus Jiraiya and Sasuke versus Orochimaru and Tsunade versus Sakura. In my head, they were basically just the same characters, just different generations, right? But over the years, as I've thought more and more about it, I think the ultimate factor of where they all go, it's said pretty explicitly that these 2 are relative. So I'm not saying that there's a big gap between these 3. I'd like to make that incredibly clear. These 3 are all incredibly close in terms of power. However, there is certain scaling that you can make for Orochimaru by the end that gets him to War Arc level. And I think that's crazy. I don't think he's that good, but he's probably the strongest of them. And there's a reason that I think that these two may move down in a little bit. But for now, this is where I'm going to put them. Tsunade is a beast. Like I said, I thought she was the best against the Madara Edo Tensei fight, the 5 Kage versus Madara fight. I think she's the real MVP of that. And I think that her healing, she's, in my opinion, at her full power, she's like fucking Wolverine. She's got super strength. She's got healing factor. She's a beast. I don't think that she can keep that up for very long. However, I think that, I mean, if you look at Jiraiya versus Orochimaru's best powers, Sage Mode for Jiraiya and the place that Orochimaru gets his name from, the Hydra form thing that he throws up against Itachi, which is supposed to be comparable to the Sage Snakes. I mean, those are impressive summonings, but I don't know exactly which one we're talking about specific, but it gets one shot and it has no feats, but that's supposed to be his big jutsu. In my opinion, these two both fight him and he comes out alive in that fight. These two are supposed to be comparable to him and he still beats both of them combined. So he's better than both of them combined. He's above them. She has bigger feats than he does. His biggest feat is Sage Mode against Pain in Pain's most powerful place. However, I think that Edo Tensei Madara scales way above Pain in terms of power. Especially because Edo Tensei Madara, let's not forget, this fucking wood style on top of everything else. Man's got some fucking hacks up in here. It's insane. And she, in the 5 Kage of the Naruto world, fought this man, and she was the most successful at beating him. That says something. In my opinion, that says something. Okay, so I'm putting Tsunade above Jiraiya, and I'm going to put Orochimaru over Sakura, because I think that these two are comparable. They're very close. Zetsu. So this is going to be specifically black Zetsu, because the white Zetsus are kind of weird. They're just Hashirama cells, supposedly, but then they become like part of the... It's complicated, and I don't really like it. So we're going to do black Zetsu, and I don't think... I mean... He's got a few feats of, like, locking down Obito, but I feel like Obito's fatigued at that point. So, I'm trying to decide. I'll put him S rank for now. Yeah, fuck it. We're not doing this. I don't like these names, so we're just going to do S. It's just easier in my head to do it this way. I apologize. I know this is throwing it off a bit, but C, D. Not low D. Just D. E, F, G. How many of these do we have? H and I. Okay. H, I. Alright. So, next we're going to do Ginkaku and Ginkaku. Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Yeah, that's what I thought I said. Because it directly relates to how you scale Tobirama. And I think these guys are not as powerful as Deidara. But, okay, so these guys have Nine Tails Chakra. It's really hard to scale them because they just got Nine Tails Chakra from living inside its guts for a little bit. But, and they end up killing Tobirama. However, there's a certain amount of downplay that goes with Tobirama, in my opinion. I think Tobirama is an underrated character in a lot of ways. He's responsible for flying Raijin. Now, I don't think he's better than Minato at flying Raijin, but he's probably one of the fastest ninja in their entire history. Probably one of the fastest. He was a master water user. He was responsible for Edo Tensei, for Shadow Clones, for so many interesting feats. And I mean, they're just to invent such useful jutsu would require a certain amount of intelligence required in tactical combat to make jutsu that are relevant all the way through the series. Naruto uses Shadow Clones in every fight he's in. He was an incredibly underrated character, and it sounds to me like these two not only were... It was not just these two. They also had several S-ranked shinobi with them. I forget. I think it was something like 20. I apologize if I'm wrong. But they had a whole platoon with them, and he had been being chased for a while, and it was supposed to... He was only meant to stall so that Hiruzen and Danzo's group could get away. So I think he's at little... And when he's in Edo Tensei, I think he does better than any of the other Kage that had fought Madara. I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I am putting him at the top of B. He may move, he may not stay the top of B, but people downplay the shit out of Tobirama because he died to these two fucking jamokes. But I think a lot of context gets lost in why these two beat him. I guess technically we should do it that way. There's a lot of history that goes in behind these two. These two are a reference to two brothers in Journey to the West. And those brothers gave, in the original Journey to the West story, gave Sun Wukong and the monk Tripitaka some trouble. And that's what these two are based off of. And they have Nine Tails chakra. I don't know. I just feel like people downplay the shit out of Tobirama because of where he died. Chio is okay. So Sakura only gets good by the work, basically. And when I say good, not a good character. She still sucks. I hate everything about her. However, I think she is... Her best fight outside of the work is very clearly the Sasori fight. And that comes in large part because of Chio. Chio is not especially powerful, but an incredibly... She's very similar to Black Zetsu in the fact that a lot of her power comes from her intel, not her skill. So I'm going to put her right around that level. I'm going to be honest, I don't know some of these characters' names. I haven't looked all of them up. I remember some of what they did in the course of the series, though, so bear with me. Inoki. Inoki's one of my favorites Kage level characters. At the very least, he's Kage level, which puts him right around here-ish. And I think this man, at the old age, is incredibly impressive. Particle style is busted. It only loses to like some really stupid jutsu. And he's got a shit ton of other jutsu. It takes... I mean, he's not... I don't want to downplay the fact that it's not like he did it alone, all right? But he did stop one of Madara's meteors for the most part with his just flight ability. Dude can fly. Cool rock jutsu. I like Inoki a lot. I think he's very, very good. He's right. Him and Datara are very close, but I put him just above Datara. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm probably going to bump Datara and Inoki. Yeah, right around there. I think that Inoki does some really good stuff against Madara, who is just below Ten Tails level, and I think that Tobirama does just a little bit better in terms of his fight against Madara. Okay, this is the guy from the 5 Kage summits with Byakugan. It's kind of similar to Kakashi. Doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to put him with Neji. Not super effective character, but he does do some interesting stuff. Alright. You know, you put me on recording and I can't remember these characters' names, even though I know who they fucking are, which is really difficult for me. Give me a second. Asuma. Thank you. All right. Asuma. This is going to be really rough because I liked Asuma a lot. Asuma is only like right around here. He loses to the weakest member of the Akatsuki. And I like Asuma, but the dude kind of goes out like a punk, and I hate that. It was a cool moment for Shikamaru, one of my favorite non-major... Shikamaru is probably my favorite non-major side character. I love the dude. So we're going to put him here. Kakuzu. Where do I want to put Kakuzu? Okay. The biggest feat for this dude that besides what we see against Team 7 and all that stuff with Naruto, you just basically one-shotting him with the Rasen Shuriken, an incomplete version of that, FYI, is his acclaim that he fought against Hashirama and lived. It's similar to these two dudes. These guys just feel like fucking nothing, and so does this dude. I'm going to put him right above that, but yeah, that's where he's going to go for now. Ruka Sensei. I love this dude. Very bad shinobi. Choji. Yeah, he's around Jonin level, right? Maybe we put him down here. Yeah. We don't have any feats for this guy. I just put him in because I wanted to call him Tsunade's boy toy. Alright. Danzo. Danzo's best fight is against Sasuke on the bridge. And this is prior to EMS, if I remember. So... No, this is after EMS. This is after EMS. Because this is after Sasuke joins Taka. And the only reason that Sasuke gets part of Taka, which is like a subgroup of the fucking Akatsuki, I think, is that they killed Itachi, so they had to basically replace him. So him and his group join in. So this is EMS Sasuke beats this dude. I don't really think it's close. I think we don't get a good estimation of his power. He was supposed to be Kage level-ish. He was in running with Hiruzen. I think that Hiruzen was always very much clearly more powerful than this dude. But he was in the conversation, so you gotta give him credit. This dude, I don't remember why he has the eye patch, but he's the dude that helps Naruto beat the third Raikage. I don't need this version of Naruto. I've already got several different... Here's the thing. I'm just going to scroll down so you can see how many stupid versions of these characters are. Like, none of these... I don't need to do Boruto and, like, rank Delta. And I don't need to do fucking Kiba multiple times. Like, I don't understand. Who gives a shit about the Seven Swordsmen and different versions? Like, I only did different versions of characters if it was somewhat interesting. Sasuke and Naruto are we're gonna do them once. We're not doing Sage Naruto and Baryon mode Naruto and KCM 1 and KCM 2 and KCM with Sage mode and 6 Pat. We're not doing all that shit. We're doing one version of Naruto and one version of Sasuke. We're gonna use their different versions to help scale things, but we're not ranking them multiple times. Especially because, like, look how many different characters in this fucking list. We're not doing that. All right. Raikage A. Right behind Tsunade, in my opinion. Him and Tsunade are comparable. Him and Jiraiya are comparable. It's interesting. I don't know what I think about him. So here's the issue. I think B has some interesting fights, but I don't think that he ever fights someone and does well enough against top tier opponents to be placed higher than A. I think that's kind of the point. The whole point is that he's supposed to be able to take out B if he needs to, if the Eight Tails ever gets out of control, I think, if I remember correctly. That was the point of the third Raikage, is that he basically chipped off one of its horns, and that's when it kind of started getting respect for the village. But A is supposed to be the second fastest shinobi in Naruto history, behind only Minato. It's what it's supposed to say, that they were at least fighting comparably. And B fights Taka. Um, he's the Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. He's a big deal. I mean, he fights Kisame. That's the fish dude's name. He fights Kisame. He does pretty well against Kisame. He loses that fight, but Kisame is underrated. Let's just get that out of the way. I mean, guy fought with seventh gate. He had to open seventh gate to beat like Kisame and win. I think it was sixth gate for a 30% clone, if I remember off the top of my head, which is pretty impressive for Kisame. And I think that B does a decent job. However, the only reason that he's gonna stay this level is because of Edo Tensei Nagato and Edo Tensei Itachi. He just feels absolutely irrelevant in that fight with KCM 1 Naruto and all them. Fugaku, feetless son of a bitch. He's just gonna go ahead of Donzo because fuck Donzo. We should probably put Donzo above these fucking Jamokes, shouldn't we? These Jamokes are gonna go down a level. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Gaara. Gaara's mid Kage level, so we're gonna put him. Where do I want to put him? He's below a. I'd like to make this very clear. There's not that big of a gap between Tsunade and Jiraiya, in my opinion, but yeah, the question is who do you think would have a better time against Pain? Killer B or Sage Mode Jiraiya? And Sage Mode Jiraiya has advanced intel on the powers of the Renegon, whereas B wouldn't. And I still think that a fully formed Eight Tails is going to do better than a Sage Mode Jiraiya. This is an incomplete Sage Mode. Gaara's my boy, man. He was one of the most interesting characters in Part 1. He's a similar character to Neji in the fact that those two dudes were scary. Scary antagonists for Naruto and Sasuke. And they kind of just lose all of that interest. He definitely has to go behind Datara because Datara beat him single-handedly. And I think is he Sannin level? Here's the question. Without the one tail, is he even Sannin level? The dude doesn't pull off any feats in the war arc is the issue. Like, he has small moments here and there, and he's got this moment in Boruto where he stops fused Momoshiki with sand, but I just don't know where to place him in Shippuden, man. I don't know where to put him. I'm going to leave him there because I can't find... We're starting to stack up this beats here, though, man. It's getting bad. Okay. Kankuro. He's got to go in the Jonin tier, doesn't he? He is the definition of a Jonin. I'm just going to put him right there. I don't want to do all the former Kage. I've decided. Sir, yeah, where's the other particle style dude? There we go. Okay. Fuck this. Hanzo. He's interesting because he fights the 3 Sannin in the third Ninja War by himself, basically, and holds his own. Now, I am scaling these characters based on different things. It doesn't seem as though Jiraiya used Sage Mode or Tsunade released her seal thing, or Orochimaru went Hydra. So they didn't use their big guns against him, and they also were 10 years less of training. So he's going to go down here. I'm going to put him under Fugaku. Now, there's more feats for him. Fuck it. Is supposed to be good, but we don't fucking ever see him do anything, so I can't scale him for shit. This dude's only in C tier because of mouth of word of mouth alone. Word of mouth alone. So okay, nope, we're not doing this. Okay, Hidan, the worst character in the Akatsuki. He's going Jonin level. I mean, once you figure out his fucking immortality thing, he's fucking easy. Alright. The best girl in Naruto. Hinata. My fucking girl. Very fearless. I think she's around Neji level, so we're going to put her at top of E probably for now. Black Zetsu, even holding a fatigued Obito is better. Yeah, she's great. I think she's a super sweet character, and I like her place in the fandom. I just don't think she does a whole lot. Fucking Ino, I hate this girl. She's gonna go fucking Neji level, and I think Neji's better. What's this girl's name? Kirin? No. Redhead Naruto. I don't fucking remember her name. Sasuke Simp. That's what we're gonna call him. Yep, this is Sasuke Simp. Also Ino level. Jugo. Dude's kind of insane. I'm gonna put him under Hidan, but his Sage mode's pretty applicable. It begins with a K. What's this dude's name? Bone Dude Naruto. What's his name? Kimimaro. Thank you. Kimimaro. Fun character. But he's part 1 level. He dies basically, and I don't think he does anything interesting in the work when he's in a Tensei. Just there. Put him top of Chi. I don't fucking know. It's one of the weirdest Kekkei Genkai that we ever get. Because Kekkei Genkai is supposed to be able to control 2 different elements at the same time, basically. That's what Lava Style is. It's fire and earth, or, Boya Release is like fire and water and certain things like that. This is fucking, I can make my bones fly out of my hand. Like, I don't fucking... It's such an interesting power that I think is what Kekkei Genkai were originally supposed to be something very different than what they turned out to be. And I mean, yeah, his ability is stretched to being able to like terraform an entire battlefield with his bones. But when you've got guys that can control you by looking them in the eye, in the Itachis and the Shisuis of the world, this dude's fucking bone powers feel fucking useless. How is this what Orochimaru wanted to put his body into instead? I just don't get it. Baby Kabuto. This dude is weak sauce. Weak sauce. Sage mode Kabuto. Now we're talking. This dude's pretty good. I think he's A. Because I don't think that he's as good as... Is he even Sonin level? He might be down here. I don't think he's better than Toby Ram. Yeah. Yep. He's gonna go down there. We have far too many people in B. We might have to move some stuff. Alright. Kisame. I like this dude, and I think he's underrated. I really, really do. But he's not gonna go above... I mean, he beats B, but I don't think he beats A. So we're going to put him there. Do I have to move Jiraiya? I don't think Jiraiya is better than B, though. Yeah, I don't think Jiraiya is better than B. So yeah, we're going to put... Kisame would have won his fight against B if Samehana hadn't just fucking decided to switch sides. Kisame is known as the no-tailed beast for a reason. He's good. He's very powerful with his fucking bubble of water and being able to control. He's great. I think that he's a very cool character. Itachi. Okay, so here's what I think is going to be interesting. Who of this generation is going to be the most powerful shinobi of their era? Itachi, Obito, Pain slash Nagato, or Minato. We're going to do this with all of them. We're going to do this piece by piece, and we're going to go looking through it. So the most relevant people to this, I'm just going to be upfront. I think that Nagato, in his fully formed state, is better than Pain, very much unequivocally. You lose some of the sight, but you get all of the powers in one character, and it's way more powerful. Having someone who can Shinra Tensei and throw fucking missiles at you and heal themselves and do summonings all at the same time is just way more interesting than having that. Like, if you take out one of the paths of Pain, they have to get res before they can do anything. So Nagato is more powerful than Pain. And even though these are, in a lot of sense, the same character. In the same way that I think that it's very clear that Minato, being the Jinchuriki of the other half of the Nine Tails that he sealed away when he put half into Naruto the day that Obito appeared, again, is very interesting. A 14-year-old, he was around 14 when Obito fought Minato, lost pretty badly. Give it a few years. I mean, like, what, 16 years? Naruto had just been born. And he's, like, what, 16 by the time of the war arc? Obito is way more dangerous. Itachi's so interesting because we never see him go full out. He has a sickness. He just never does anything. He's the king of sandbagging. He just doesn't do anything at full power, so I fucking can't read anything he does. So these guys are in my opinion, like, we're gonna put Hashirama and Madara above these guys, but these guys are just like right below their tier level, in my opinion, which I think is interesting. These are the best shinobi of their era, respectively, and I wanna try to sort out where I think everyone goes. So Itachi, he no diffs Orochimaru at a very young age, high level. Obito, it's good to finally get Kakashi and Guy out of, because I mean, I like those characters a lot, but they're not that powerful when you start really looking at the strong heavy hitters of this world. Okay. If I had to rank it, I do think that I take Itachi over Obito. Now, this is assuming that Itachi isn't declining from sickness. But I mean, this image that I'm using is Obito with the Rinnegan, and if we're doing Obito with the Rinnegan and the Jinchuriki that he Edo Tensei Jinchuriki he had, then yeah, he's above. But that's not really fair. If we're doing one-eyed Obito versus Itachi, it's hard. Because Obito's got his one thing, right? The Kamui dimension. Motherfucker can turn intangible and can go into his own dimension. That's basically all he does. But it's a really good gimmick. Whereas we've got this dude over here who's got the Totsuka blade and the Yaramir and a Susanoo and Amaterasu and all this stuff. Great genjutsu user and just, but this dude put a perfect Jinchuriki under genjutsu for years, and it's just, these two are so comparable, very big rivals, very good rivals for each other. I'm gonna lean Itachi for the simple fact that I think at his peak he's better than Obito, but there's definitely points in Itachi's life when he is below Obito in terms of power. And I think both of these guys are more powerful than this version of Pain. Pain is not more powerful than these guys. Now, is Nagato more powerful than these guys? We only see a little bit of it. And it is in Edo Tensei, so take it with a grain of salt. However, I think that Itachi versus Nagato, Itachi arguably wins that fight when they're in Edo Tensei. Now that's removing a lot of his. That's a lot of his peak, but I'm going on his peak power, where they peak out. Not just not where you want to put them in the timeline where they're a little bit weaker than another character. Where are they at their peak? And I think he's above Nagato. Is he above Obito? Is Nagato above Obito? I don't know, man. This is tough. When it comes to these three in particular, and when I add in Minato, there's a lot of hearsay and it's very circumstantial. I'll say that. So if you disagree and you have a different person above someone else, I'm not going to be mad. This is just my opinion. God, I don't know where to put him. He's definitely more powerful than Pain. And definitely more powerful than Kakashi and Guy. Chibaku Tensei is really good, but it does nothing to Obito. Yeah, I'm gonna say that the Uchiha are better than the random Uzumaki who happened to get a Rinnegan. That's just what I'm gonna say. All right, Minato. Minato is great. Probably one of my favorite characters. And I think he's better than Obito and Nagato and Pain. Question is if he's better than Itachi at his peak. I'm a big Itachi fan, but I'm also a big Minato fan. These are two of my favorite characters in the whole series. And I don't think that this version of Minato is more powerful than Itachi's peak. However, they are very, very comparable. I just don't think that Minato could damage Itachi in his Susanoo. Not because of the Yadomir. Now, here's the thing. It's possible. Tsunade is breaking not a perfect Susanoo. When she legged form Susanoo of Madara when she's going full out. And I think that Minato scales above that, obviously. However, here's the issue. It's kind of a Flash versus the Hulk kind of thing, like where it's like, yeah, the Flash could get one shot, but he's so fast, could the Hulk ever hit him? And the Hulk's so strong. You know, it's like one of those where it's like nobody fucking wins in that argument because it's hard to damage those kinds of characters. This dude is so fucking fast if he gets his flying Raijin flipping around, and he's got fucking powerful Rasengans. He's got he's fighting A and Killer B. Now, granted, younger versions, but by himself, basically. This dude basically won the Hidden Leaf, the Third War, by himself, in a lot of ways. He was a menace. Itachi's got the Yadomir. He's got the Tosca Blade. And one of my favorite arguments that I've heard is, what if he put Amaterasu on the seals and Minato teleported into him? And then that's possible. But Minato is said to be the smartest character in Naruto, basically. I mean, only Sasuke is really... I would argue Itachi's smarter than Sasuke, personally. Sasuke's more powerful, but I'd argue Itachi's smarter. Only Shikamaru is maybe smarter than these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and his dad. Like, unparalleled intelligence. I don't think he's flitting around and just teleporting into an Amaterasu unsuspecting. I don't think that's happening. I'm going to put him above Itachi. Itachi is a god. One of the best non-OP, like one of the best non-six-pack characters. But I just think that Minato is a little bit more versatile. Personally. And because of that, I mean, if alive Minato wins that, then Edo Minato is even better. That he's got QB chakra and all that stuff. I don't need that dude. Shikamaru, because he's just his dad but better, right? He's got more development stuff. he beats Hidan. I think he's smarter than Shio. Smarter. I mean, he's really good. I think he caps out right around here-ish, but underrated. Genuinely underrated. Very good character. Um, I think he was fun. Kiba. Kiba's interesting. He's just Jonin level, right? He's like down here below Neji, but above these guys, right? Right around there. Captain Yamato, right? I believe this is Yamato. That's his name, right? Let me double check. Yeah, Yamato. Captain Yamato. I was right. Just a worse version of Hashirama and a high level Jonin. Like we're talking like right around this area. Probably better than Shikamaru, but yeah, right around there. Perfect Jinchuriki that was controlled by Obito. Feetless, we're not ranking them. But fun character. Okay. We're getting kind of close to the end here, so Rock Lee. Great in part 1. Suffers a bit from the Neji issue, but he has more feats than a lot of the other characters. So he's going to go up here-ish, because I think he can only get to 5th gate, maybe 6th gate, but he's not 7th gate yet. I think he's only 5th. Alright, now the worst Kage. I fucking hate Mei. She's got Kekkei Genkai and all that, like several different ones, and she's fucking Hinata level. Like, it's ridiculous. She's probably not Hinata level. I'm just being over dramatic, but is she worse than Danzo? She's probably worse than Danzo. Yeah, she sucks. She just sucks. Like, we've got, you know, Sasuke, Naruto, Minato with the Nine Tails, and Obito, and, you know, Itachi, and Nagato, and all these guys. And then you got fucking Mei, who's got Kekkei Genkai. Should have really strong abilities, and she's shit. Conan. This is the Batman of the Naruto universe. That 8 million paper bombs versus Obito shenanigans is only going to get her so far. She's better than this. I'm going to put her right around here-ish. I'm going to put her above Fugaku for the simple fact that he's feetless, and we've seen her fight Obito. So she's going to go... Rock probably shouldn't be. Rock Lee probably shouldn't be above Hanzo. Well, I don't know. Is 5 Gate Lee Sannin level? That's the question. Probably? Yeah, we're going to go probably. So we're going to put him above Hanzo. She fought Obito, who's, in my opinion, way above Sannin. Not way above, but above Sannin. Not that saying that she's Sannin level, in my opinion. I mean, she trained with Jiraiya for a long time, and years of training. I think she's around Sannin level, which everyone in this is, like, around Sannin level. And these are just the peak versions of these Sannin characters. Just to make that more clear. Samurai dude, kind of feetless. He's got a few fight scenes, but nothing super interesting. He's gonna go around Shikamaru level. Yeah, why not? Okay. The mightiest version of Guy. The 8-gate Guy. He's better than his 7th self, obviously. He's better than Kakashi. Okay, so this is how I've always seen if he had been the one to defend the village instead of Naruto, I think he would have beaten all of the Pains, but Nagato would still be alive and he'd be dead. So I'm gonna put him below Nagato. Well, I don't know. He's definitely above Pain. He fights... I mean, Madara lets him beat up on him, to be fair. But he's really fucking good, man. He's really good. Really fucking fast. Is he better than Nagato? Probably not. Nagato using all of the Rinnegan abilities, which is just so funny. Nagato has all the Rinnegan abilities, and so do so many other characters who eventually get Rennegans, and they just don't use any of those fucking abilities. Like, they could just shoot missiles out of their arms all of a sudden because they have these weird eye powers. Like, it's fucking nonsense, and they never do it. They don't even use Chubaku Tensei. Like, Sasuke does it against the fight against Naruto at the very end of Shippuden, but he never uses it in fucking Boruto, does he? He just uses the ability to teleport. Like, I think that's a cool ability of Sasuke's powers, but I don't think that's the main part that the Sage of Six Paths was trying to get him to use these powers for. I just always found that funny. Nagato is very clearly the one who learned how to use all of the Rinnegan powers. Obito. Jinchuriki Obito, to be clear. This dude is a beast. I don't think he's quite S tier. He's definitely A tier. So here's the question. Here's why I put this version of Obito above ahead of Madara and Hashirama. Hashirama says that this dude someone finally has more chakra than Hashirama. Hashirama has the most chakra in the series. And Naruto has a lot of chakra, even without the Nine Tails, like a lot of chakra. A lot. Hashirama's fucking built different with chakra, though. Like, that dude has probably as much chakra as the Nine Tails. Like, straight up. Okay. I like Madara a lot. One of my favorite characters in the show. Hashirama scales above him, very clearly from their battle. And Ten Tails obviously scales above that because it was debatable. Madara thought he could maybe beat him, but he didn't. It took Naruto and Sasuke, and he's like, thanks for doing that for me. I don't think he actually could have beaten the Ten Tails Jinchuriki Obito. I really don't. Then he gets the power of the Ten Tails, and he's much more formed. He has Rinnegan, and then Kaguya shows up and just ruins everything from there. But very, very good. All right, now it's just fun. I'm going to call him Six Paths Kakashi, because I don't fucking know where he scales, but he is nuts. Perfect Susanoo. Kamui Shuriken. Both Kamuis, meaning he can snipe your head off and become intangible. We don't ever see him come in contact with a physical opponent when he does this, so it's possible his Susanoo is impervious when he wants it to be. It's nuts. Absolutely. I do think that he might be better. He's definitely better than I think Ten Tails Obito Jinchuriki. I genuinely believe that. Whether he's better than Madara as Ten Tails Jinchuriki is hard for me. But Six Paths Kakashi is crazy. Really, really crazy. Really crazy. I don't actually know if he's Six Paths level. The only reason I call him that is he's fighting very, very evenly with Six Paths Naruto and Sasuke. I don't believe it's implied that he gets Six Paths chakra, but regardless. Kaguya scales above Madara, which tracks for the series. She's supposed to be a bigger threat than Madara is with both Rinnegan and the powers of the Ten Tails. So we're just going to leave it at that. And we're going to put Sage's Six Paths below Kaguya. So here's the issue. Does Kaguya scale above not Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke? At their full potential Valley of the End kind of powers, it's tough. Because she fought them once they basically had just gotten their Six Paths powers, right? Naruto is still trying to learn his, and Sasuke especially was still trying to learn how to use his Rinnegan. And I don't blame him. This is no knock on Sasuke. He basically got the power to teleport and was told, hey, just use it for whatever. And he's like, I don't fucking know what to... This is brand new information to me. he's a genius level intellect in the series, and they just threw a power at him, and he figured it out pretty quickly, but it was difficult for him. By the end of the series, I think that these guys genuinely scale above her. I do. It's close, and it took both of them to actually beat her, plus an incredibly A-tier character and a Sakura that was there too for some reason. Um, she might. I have a tough time with this. It's very clear that the Sage of Six Paths and his brother were both needed to fight against Kaguya. We don't get a whole lot about his brother except that he is a Byakugan. But the Sage of Six Paths should eventually surpass his mom, at least in my opinion. He was younger when he did that, didn't fully understand everything. I believe he had Sharingan at this point. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he does have the Renegon, which I think is better than the Byakugan. They both have a Rene Sharingan. And this dude just has a Byakugan and stuff. But it took both of these dudes to take out Kaguya together. So I think that eventually the Sage of Six Paths overcomes his mother. That may be controversial. We never. I'm going a lot on statements for. I believe his name is Hagoromo. Is it Hagoromo? It feels like the wrong name. No, that was right. Hagoromo. Hagoromo is very, very good. And I'm going a lot on statements for him versus concrete feats with Kaguya. She probably should be ahead of him. And I will admit that I think she's a lame last villain, so I could be biased. But I'm going to put Hagoromo above her because an entire lifetime to train after she's sealed in the Shibaku Tensei Boon, which is canon. And this dude just goes up to go watch her, basically. Hagoromo is really, really powerful in the times after. And he splits his chakra between these two, and they beat her. So, in my opinion, this dude is better than her. Now, whether he is better than Sasuke and Naruto is another thing. It's tough, man. It is tough to rank some of these. Once you start getting to the S tiers, it's like, I don't fucking know. None of them are broken characters that can beat anyone else in the universe, in their universe. Like, it's crazy. Okay. Momoshiki. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Do they have a Momoshiki that is not fused? I don't think so. Not that I see. Okay. So yeah, we're doing this movie because I like this movie. I don't really want to. I once we start getting to the Otsutsuki, I mean, they're either great or they're just unbelievably broken characters. So I think this dude's. She was scared of Momoshiki and Kinshiki showing up. That's what the whole point of the Zetsu army is. That's the whole point of the chakra fruit and all that. She is worried about the clan of the Otsutsuki coming up, and it seems like it's implied that she's specifically scared of these two. Momoshiki scales above Kinshiki, and a fused Momoshiki is stomped by a Naruto with half his chakra drain, a Sasuke with half his chakra drain to teleport them to the right realm, and those two fighting together crush this dude. So, in my opinion, it's very clearly he's below these two. Okay. I don't think they have a Jigen one. Do they have a Jigen one? Because that dude was kind of fun. Doesn't look like it. If you see one, let me know. I'm looking something up. Please hold. I'm trying um to look something up. Ishiki. That's what his name is. Ishiki. Ishiki is just the most powerful person besides Barry on Naruto. In Naruto and Boruto. It's easy. Like Barry on Naruto, I may just pull out of here because I mean it took an entirely new mode just for Naruto to catch up to this dude. Like it's insane. Um, it's easy to scale. You don't have to keep up even weekly with the manga. You have to read the chapters in which they fight Ishiki and you're good. Yeah, so prior to this, prior to Baryon mode, Ishiki crushes. Maybe even in his own tier, but it does feel that feels kind of excessive. Yeah, so like okay, here's the question. Is Ten Tails Madara Chinchuriki with several Rinnegan better than this dude? And is Double Mangekyo Kakashi better than him too? Because we don't actually ever see him or Hagoromo officially fight their mother. It is just stated that together they beat her with the sun and moon seals or whatever that they give to Naruto and Sasuke. Because I think that this is pretty even. Hashirama, Madara, Ten Tails, Obito feel like they're in the same tier, and I feel like there's an equal progression to Nine Tails Minato to regular Minato to Itachi. Like I feel like it scales down fairly well in A tier. I like where A tier's at. My question is this appropriate for S tier? I'm gonna put. Nah, I just can't justify it. This dude is literally featless. Besides the claim that him and Hagoromo together beat Kaguya. Um, and we actually see this some of his abilities. We actually see some of Kakashi's double Mangekyo abilities. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, and so like you can see like they have Naruto, Madara, Naruto, like Sasuke. Like there's just so many different and a lot of these characters I just don't feel like they don't if I did all of the characters in these bottom rows would be fucking bloated as hell, and I don't feel like doing all of that. What was really interesting was when we got to B and above for me. I wanted to talk about Tobirama and the Sanin and stuff like that, and I wanted to talk about, Kisame and guys like that. I wanted to talk about how, in my opinion, there's a very clear step from, like, S tier's kind of jumbled. You could make an argument for certain characters. Hagoromo might be above Naruto and Sasuke, and he could maybe be the most powerful Otsutsuki besides Ishiki in the series. But we never see him fucking fight, so we don't know that for sure. So I'm just going to put him below Naruto and Sasuke. But A tier is so easy. You've got Ten Tails Obito. You've got Hashirama, Sage Hashirama. Madara in any of his forms. Whether it's, even if he's Edo or if he's alive, or if he's got a Rinnegan, he's really powerful. You've got Nine Tails Minato, regular Minato. Like, everybody in A tier is very clearly below the people behind them. The only place where it starts to get weird is 8 Gates, uh, Mike Guy. You could make an argument for him being higher. He pulls off feats that Ninetales that the Ninetales Edo Minato is reacting to. So does that scale to Ninetales Minato or no? It gets kind of weird there. I don't think that this character of 8 Gates Mike Guy, his one fight is against a character who has super healing and lets him hit him repeatedly. Like, it's hard to scale that. He's an incredibly powerful character, and he ranks himself up by a few places, overcoming pain. But he's just kind of hard to place specifically for the fact that he doesn't have any feats where you look and go, yes, he beats this guy. He bloodies and bruises Madara, and then Madara just heals and he laughs at him and he basically one-shots him. Like, he takes his most powerful attack and just Naruto has to save him from dying after the eight gates is starting to kill him. Like, that's where we get to. So I think that this is a fair place for him. It's just some of these characters, like the Hagoromo and some of the Atsuki, are weird on where you want to put them. And I don't totally know where to put. This is just a fun one. It's hard to say for a fact where this character's ever gonna where Kakashi is gonna place if he's exclusively using, like, could he use Chidori? Could he use, like, what are we talking about here? How much proficiency are we giving to this version of Kakashi? I don't know. But yeah, I think Onoki needs a little more credit. I think Tobirama needs a little bit more credit. I think he's above Slaughting level. I genuinely believe that. And I feel like a lot of people are like, they compare it to Minato and they're like, well, yeah, he's worse than Minato. Like, yeah, of course he's worse than Minato. Minato perfected the jutsu he invented that he's just good at. But Tobirama was so good at so many other things that he gets downplayed so heavily. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to get that off my chest to a certain extent. Yeah, I like where a lot of this turned out. I just enjoyed. The only reason this man is here is to call up Tsunade's boy toy. He just dies like a chump off screen. Iruka Sensei is a real one. He's tuning. Yeah, I had a lot of fun placing these. I think that I don't think it's perfect, and everyone will see this and go, yes, this dude knows what he's talking about with Naruto, and like they'll be perfectly happy with everything I said. But I think this is a pretty fucking good list. I'm just gonna say it. I like where a lot of this turned out, and I like that I did not do so much of this fucking bloatware, dude. Like, look at this stupid amount of stuff. There are too many characters that no one gives two shits about. There are too many versions of Naruto and Sasuke. There's too many Boruto characters. There's too many people who don't even... Like, Shisui's a cool character. The dude does nothing in the entire series. Like, why should I try... Or... Kushina doesn't do anything. Why are we trying to place her anywhere? I don't get it. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. Here's a final look at everything again. Just to give you a chance to look at everything that I got wrong. And I should be done. Cool. Peace.